where it has been revealed that the Rings of Power, the billion-dollar series that Amazon created, was a massive flop. So according to a Forbes article, only 37% of people who started watching the Rings of Power series finished it. 37, not even 40. 37%.
That's hard to believe, you know.
I believe like at least 20% of those were YouTubers whose job it was to watch it and talk about it. So Matt Vader 74, we covered this show extensively on Salty Saturdays. What's your take on this epic dismal failure?
It's our fault that percentage is so high. We're part of the problem, but that percentage is so
100%.
100%. Because we 100% hung around and hate watched that thing so we could talk about it on this very show.
Every minute of it, dude.
I'm in that target group.
Yeah, all of us are. Everybody, most of the people in this chat are as well.
I mean, it's funny you say that, Matt, because I don't know the few people I know that aren't YouTubers didn't finish it, but I know I did, and I know almost all the other YouTubers did.
Yeah, that thing was brutally bad. That article, I think you have the article linked. The author was really funny, man. He's just like, this Forbes guy is just really based, and he just like flat out said that it came out and it looks like it was written by a ChatGPT robot. And it's wild. He's right. Some of the weird things that they did with this show, it looks like it and feels like it was written by somebody who sort of knew the lore but didn't, and just wanted to insert weird stuff in there to make some filler shit. You know. I mean, it's bizarre. It's bizarre. Yeah. And yes, I do think a large people in that 37% hate watched it. And because maybe like everything else in the world, there's that 5% of weirdos that actually found something good and gratifying and liked it. You know, it's those same 5% of Star Wars fans that are at Star Wars Celebration right now, whooping it all up over there. There's always going to be that 5% of idiots out there that appreciate this kind of stuff. So yeah, it's weird.
Whenever people do that, whenever like, I don't know how anyone can be a fan of this or that, or whatever, the weirdos. I remember going to Disneyland by accident on some like Disney day. And there were like troves, legions of extraordinarily overweight middle Americans in every Disney, like Disney ears, goofy hats, the whole grown men, like 50-year-old men, okay, in giant Mickey ears, screaming because they're announcing some new ride opening up. This was like 10 years ago. No one can be that much of a fan of Disney. But no, man, there's some weirdos out there.
Well, Brian, I think at least 10% of those people stuck around to see what Jeff's fate was in the Rings of Power.
That's true.
But
only good character.
But 37% of finishing that, basically, from what this article says, after the first 2 episodes, there was a serious drop in viewership, and by the time the series finished, only 37% of people had watched it. These are dismal numbers for Amazon that has invested a lot of money in this franchise. Are you surprised that like a franchise like The Lord of the Rings had such a dismal turnout?
Oh no, I mean, because it wasn't Lord of the Rings, though, right? For some reason, they didn't buy Lord of the Rings. They bought like the notes, the appended, like the cliff notes of one of the stories in Lord of the Rings, and then proceeded to rewrite like that entire era of history and include people and characters that shouldn't have been there, and then proceed to wreck those characters in real time and completely change established characters and established lore. No, I'm not remotely surprised. I mean, I if it was a huge success, I'd be questioning my sanity. If it was a remote success, I'd be questioning my sanity because they made so many poor decisions. I mean, to be fair, our Salty Saturdays were awesome every week after that episode. They were hilarious. I remember I laughed for an hour and a half every week because of that show.
Because of Jeff.
Because of Jeff. I still can't get past the whole orc tunnels. I don't get it.
Don't step into the light, dude.
Don't step in the light.
Gotta make those water trenches.
I have so
Brutal.
many questions. Like why was is it Sauron? Sauron, right? Why was Sauron just like chilling in the ocean?
Yeah.
Does anyone know? I want to ask a writer, like, why? Like, what was your thought process? Can you explain? Maybe you didn't explain on screen, so like, explain it to me. How does he get there? How the f does he get there, and why? Well, in I love that reveal too. The very last episode where they reveal that it's like, it's where does Sauron live again? What's
Mount
that place?
Doom?
Mordor. He's like, it changes the title to like Mordor.
Oh yeah.
Like we're all supposed to be surprised.
Yeah.
Like that's like
Right.
oh my god, that's the mic drop moment.
That's crazy.
Holy
You know
crap!
What's wild to me is I just pulled it up. Is that Lord of the Rings: Rings of Power on Amazon still has an 83% critic score.
Oh, for God's sake. No way.
83%, and the audience score is 38%.
Well, you got to remember that the critic
Jesus.
score is based on the first 2 preview episodes that they sent
Yeah.
out there.
It's
But
wild.
you know, they also changed Galadriel to Guy Ladriel, and
Yeah.
they had some truly bad writing. But Anthony, so even though like 37% finished this series, we've been hearing that Star Wars is kind of in the same boat with like major depression of ratings and viewership for Mandalorian season 3. It feels like the 2 most popular franchises on the earth, Lord of the Rings and Star Wars, are dead essentially. What's your take on that?
Yeah, so I was in the same boat as you guys, or most people it seems. I tried Rings of Power and I bailed, as it happens, I think second episode, along with probably majority of the audience by the sounds of it. It's interesting what you say about you were doing a kind of a weekly review, so you stuck through it and plowed through it and hate watched it. We're doing a similar thing with Mando on the Brown Lions channel. We review it every Wednesday after it. Now, would I have stuck with Mando if I wasn't having to watch it to review it every week? I don't know. Maybe it's entertaining me in a weird kind of way just by how bad it is. But yeah, Rings of Power. I mean, I had Prime. I had free access to Prime. I just couldn't do it. Characters not compelling, story not interesting. It was it not the one of the most expensive TV shows ever made as well?
Yeah,
Seem to
right, yeah,
it
recall.
was.
Yeah,
$1 billion.
Wow, what a flop.
Dude, if I cared more, I would have like created a Chrome extension that you can install while you're watching it, and it counts the amount of money being spent every minute that you're watching that show.
Yeah.
Well, we calculated that, I think, and it was like $1 million per minute.
Something.
Well, before we get to Mexican Iron Man's take on this, I want to introduce the man, the myth, the legend himself, the greatest Midnight's Edge contestant ever, Tom Powers Jr. Thank you for joining us.
You race swapped me with my best friend.
So
Well,
Tommy,
you're the Mexicant, and Mike's the Mexican. So,
I can't argue with that. That's the problem.
yeah. So, Mike, what is your take on this dismal drop in viewership for Lord of the Rings?
I guess
Does this spell doom and gloom for Amazon's plans?
I believe it does. I have two quick comments. One is that when I finished watching that, I thought it was the dumbest TV I'd ever seen until Mandalorian season 3, which I think is actually dumber than all of Rings of Power, which to me is just a phenomenal feat. After that last episode, it literally to me just took that platinum level trophy away from Rings of Power, because I don't think any episode of Rings of Power was as bad as that last Mando one. Number two is that when you talk about a viewer drop off like that, what is going to happen with the future seasons that they have planned and all the money that they plan to spend on that? I mean, it's just in the old days where we had ratings and you know, when you looked at viewership, you knew whether or not you were going to renew something for another season. You knew whether or not you're going to produce another film because there was trajectory. This is implosion, and that number is just absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, real quick, we got before we get to Tom, Whiskey Jack for £2. We need T-shirts that say "I survived Rings of Power."
It's
Indeed,
not a bad idea.
And from Dennis Wright for $20, if you were race, gender, trans swapped, who would you choose to swap out your patriarchal agendas? Matt Vader, if we had to race, gender, or trans swap you, who would you want in your role?
Zendaya.
Good
What?
choice.
Yeah,
Good choice.
Zendaya.
Zendaya.
She's my girl.
What about you, Mixon Iron Man? Who would you like to have you replaced with?
Salma Hayek.
Salma Hayek, that's a good one. You know, Brian, you are gender queer, so we don't really need to swap you out, Mr. Latinx.
Jason
but,
Momoa.
okay.
Jason Momoa.
The
Tom
fact
Connors
that
Jr.
came out of your lips so fast is incredibly disturbing.
Yes, it is.
I find him
Tom
very
Connors,
attractive.
who would you want to race,
Sue me.
sex, or trans swap with you? I guess Tom's not there. Okay.
Tom disappeared. I'm out. Here
With
we go.
me?
Yes, with you.
I mean, I would get stuck with Melissa McCarthy, but I mean, it was up to me. It'd be like Charlize Theron or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe ScarJo.
That's pretty good.
So
I'd
what
want
you saying?
I'm trying to save some money on my credit cards. This guy here, what's your name?
Mike.
Simon.
What?
Simon.
Simon. Where's Theodore?
Yes. Sorry?
Yeah.
Alvin Simon Theodore.
So you want my credit card number? Is that what you want?
Did I ask for it?
Well, you're going to help me with my credit, right? That's the next step. I'm just helping you move
That
this
is
along
correct.
here. All right, here's my credit card number.
Uh,
867-5309.
that is not a credit card number.
That's my
Not a
credit card number.
That is not.
Well, then what do you want from me? I'm busy. I'm working.
Oh. Do you have your credit card with you?
What?
Do you have your credit card handy?
You're going to give me a handy?
Tom, can you ask him what his preferred pronouns are?
What are your preferred pronouns? He hung up.
Can you ask him if he liked The Last Jedi?
Oh my God.
Too
dude.
late. He hung up.
So,
Sorry.
Anthony, who would you want to be race, gender, or trans swapped with?
Oh wow! I've dashed to the toilet, come back, and you're talking about a very bizarre topic. Who would I want to be?
Chat. Yeah.
Race swapped?
Yeah, who would you want
Oh, I can do
replaced with?
both.
Yeah.
I'll go race swapped and gender swapped with Lizzo. Yes,
Yeah.
give me Lizzo.
And I would prefer to be swapped with Dylan Mulvaney because she gets tons of brand deals.
Easy on the pronouns, Matt.
Yes, I know, right? And from the Dork Knight for $5, I literally bailed on the Salty Trekker for our Wednesday show because I do not want to review Mando anymore. I don't blame you, Danny.
Hey, you
I
know
don't
what? I just
blame you
realized,
at
Matt,
all.
and you would still have a penis.
Yes, I would. And I
Bro,
would be
money,
fabulous.
brand deals, and the ability to jerk.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
There's no downside.
There's
There
no
really is.
downside.
Hey guys, if you like this podcast, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel and comment below on your favorite video as well. That goes a long way with helping us boost our channel and get out there in front of more people. And it lets YouTube know that we're doing something right. And if you want to catch us live, we go live 2 times a week, once on Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific time and on Tuesdays at 1:30 p.m. Pacific time. So join us there in the chat. We will see you on the live stream. Stay salty.